We saw this blood on the tag. We're like, oh my gosh. And then he came and snatched us.
I'm afraid that what they're saying is true and that I'm some sort of a monster.
In my entire law enforcement career, I have never experienced something like this.
Sheriff Barber's office.
Hi, my name is Valerie Haythorne, and I work at a Dairy Queen. I'm the general manager out there. One of my employees did not show up for work this afternoon at 4 o'clock, which is totally uncharacteristic of her. She's not answering her phone, which is totally uncharacteristic. She's not answering her text.
The missing employee is 32-year-old single mother Tina Herman. Tina and her 2 kids, 13-year-old Sarah Maynard and her 11-year-old brother Cody, live in Apple Valley, a bucolic lakeside community nestled in the rolling hills of Knox County. At her manager's request, a Knox County Sheriff's deputy drives out to Tina's house on King Beach Drive to perform a wellness check. When he arrives, Tina's blue pickup truck is in the driveway, but when he knocks on the front door, there's no answer. The deputy peers inside the house. He doesn't see or hear anything suspicious, so he leaves. The next day, Tina's a no-show at work again. This time, her manager takes matters into her own hands.
This is Deputy Sylvia. I can help you.
Yes, this is Valerie Haythorne. I called in last night about Tina Herman being missing. I am out at her house now. I just went in her home because I'm so worried about her. There is blood everywhere.
Okay. Just give us a few minutes and we'll be en route, okay?
Okay,
Don't go back in the house.
When officers arrive and enter Tina's house, they're confronted with a scene straight out of a horror movie. There's blood in the living room, in the hallway, in one of the bedrooms, and all over the bathroom. As they continue to search the premises, police find bagged groceries in the kitchen and a vehicle parked in the garage. Only it's not Tina's pickup truck, it's a Jeep. Police run the tags and discover it belongs to Tina's neighbor, 41-year-old Stephanie Sprang. Officers' attempts to make contact with Stephanie are fruitless. It's as if she, Tina, Sarah, and Cody have vanished into thin air. With a house full of blood and 4 missing people, the Knox County Sheriff's Department mobilizes quickly. They request assistance from the Bureau of Criminal Identification and Investigation and the FBI, and swiftly organize search parties to canvass the area. Within hours, news of Tina, Stephanie, Sarah, and Cody's disappearance spreads like wildfire through Knox County. Residents are shocked and scared. Nobody has a bad word to say about Tina, her kids, or Stephanie. The idea that anyone would hurt them seems unfathomable. With no obvious suspects or motive, investigators start by taking a look at the 2 people closest to Tina and Stephanie, their boyfriends. Under questioning, both men provide alibis, stating they were at work all day, and they deny any involvement in their disappearances. Based on interviews with their employers, police are able to verify they're telling the truth. Both men are cleared. That brings the investigation right back to square one, until authorities uncover a crucial new clue. Inside Tina's garage, police find a shopping bag filled with several items, most notably garbage bags and tarps. The receipt is inside the bag. It's dated November 11th, and it's timestamped at 12:08 a.m. That means whoever bought these items did so hours after Tina's boss first contacted authorities. Detectives obtain a warrant and collect the store's surveillance video from November 11th. Just after midnight, cameras capture a man grabbing garbage bags and tarps off the shelves. He pays for them with cash and then leaves. Parking lot cameras show the unidentified man exiting the store and driving away. While investigators can't make out the car's license plate, they can see it's a silver Toyota Yaris. Using vehicle registration records, authorities compile a list of every person who owns a Toyota Yaris in Knox County. One by one, they rule out everyone on the list until they land on a suspect, 30-year-old Matthew Hoffman. Not only does Matthew fit the physical description of the man captured on tape, and is even wearing the same shirt from the surveillance footage in his driver's license photo, he's got a criminal record too. In 2000, the Ohio native was convicted of burglary and arson in Colorado and sentenced to 8 years in prison. Records indicate that after his release, he returned to Knox County. Recently, Matthew found himself in trouble again. He was fired from his job at a tree trimming company, and this past October, his ex-girlfriend filed a report with the Knox County Sheriff's Office accusing Matthew of strangling her. Ultimately, she decided not to press charges. Police find no connection between Matthew and the missing victims, but Matthew's current address puts him in Mount Vernon, just 20 miles from Tina's home. Investigators discover another red flag. Matthew's mother owns a home in Apple Valley, less than half a mile from the crime scene. That means he's familiar with the area, which makes him an even more possible suspect. The next morning, SWAT teams descend on Matthew's house in Mount Vernon and his mother's house in Apple Valley simultaneously. To their surprise, when they knock on Matthew's door, he answers. Officers detain him, and he's transported to the Knox County Sheriff's Office for questioning. When authorities proceed inside Matthew's home, they're immediately struck by a bizarre sight. The room off the entryway is filled with leaves. In the kitchen, they make an even more chilling discovery. There's a decapitated squirrel inside Matthew's freezer. As they continue searching the house, police notice some furniture blocking one of the doors. They move the furniture and open the door. It appears to be the entrance to the basement. Inside the basement, officers make an incredible discovery. There, on a pile of leaves, is 13-year-old Sarah Maynard. She's alive. Officers free Sarah, and she's transported to a nearby hospital for examination. At this point, even though they know the odds of finding them alive are slim, police need to locate Tina, Cody, and Stephanie.
It is Sunday, November the 14th. And it's about 8:57 a.m.
At the sheriff's office, investigators cut straight to the point with Matthew.
I think you know what we want to talk about, but we need to find some people. Matt, can you hear me?
Matt, do you go by Matt or Matthew?
We'll give you a minute, man, if you need to think a little bit. Just tell us when you're ready. Tell me what I can do to help you. We'll start wherever you want us to start. You want to talk about the weather, we'll do that. Just tell me where they're at. I'll quit talking.
Minutes turn into hours, and Matthew refuses to say a word.
We have two families here that are going through hell right now, and you control the strings. You have the ability to help them people out. You have the ability to make them feel at ease. You have that ability to do that. And we're here asking you to help us and help them. And ultimately, it will help yourself. You will sleep better again, Matt. You will sleep better again. But you're going to have to own up to what's happened here. You're going to have to take responsibility for what's happened. And you're going to have to show us that you care, that you give a shit, Matt. That you honestly do have a heart. Tell me what you want to do.
After almost 3 hours of silence, detectives issue Matthew an ultimatum.
I'm going to give you one more opportunity before I walk out of this room. To tell me where I can go get Cody, Tina, and Stephanie. One more opportunity.
But it's no use. Another investigator steps in and gives it a shot.
Hi, Matt.
I'm Joe Dietz. I'm a special agent with the Ohio Criminal Investigation. I just came in down here to help these guys out a little bit. And this morning I've been, since the time that they came into your house, I've been down with Sarah. I don't know if you knew her name, Sarah. But I've been down kind of trying to take care of Sarah, helping her down at the hospital, getting the, examination and all that stuff done. We're doing everything we can to kind of help her understand what's happened At least, as much as we know it at this point. Yeah, it's obviously going to be, a bit rough for her. And she had some questions that I wasn't able to answer. But I told her that I would try and, at least talk with you and see if we could get a couple of answers.
But Matthew stonewalls him too.
Do you remember her asking you about what happened to her mom and her brother? Because she said that she asked you a couple times. Do you remember that?
I don't want to talk anymore.
Although Matthew won't talk, Sarah does. At the hospital, the traumatized but brave young girl tells officers she doesn't know where her mother, her brother, or Stephanie are, or what happened to them. Sarah says when she and her brother Cody came home from school on November 10th, Matthew was waiting inside the house.
We saw this blood on the tile. We're like, oh my gosh. And then he came and snatched us.
Cody ran off, and Sarah ran to her bedroom. Matthew chased her down and held a knife to her throat. He tied her up, blindfolded and gagged her, and forced her to lie face down on the kitchen floor. Terrified, Sarah says she remained there for what seemed like an hour. Then Matthew picked her up, carried her to the garage, put her into a car, and drove off. Eventually, they ended up at Matthew's house. Once they got there, he took Sarah down to his basement, shoved her onto a bed of leaves, and left her there, scared in the darkness. Over the next several days, as she remained imprisoned in his basement, Sarah says Matthew sexually assaulted her and repeatedly threatened to kill her if she tried to escape. Tied up and terrified, she had no other choice but to obey him. The next day, as the search for Tina, Cody, and Stephanie continues, authorities devise a new interview tactic. Yesterday, when Matthew was being processed at the sheriff's office, he willingly chatted with a female deputy. So they bring in FBI agent Kristen Cadu, hoping she can connect with Matthew and convince him to talk.
Do you want me to take the cuffs off so you can actually put this on? Or you just want to put it around you? Do you want the pants? No? Okay. Well, they're here if you do. Okay. Sorry. I saw you shiver in there, and I thought that it is a little chilly in here. I'm the one that's got the sweater on, so. I can see the pain in your face. Like I said, it's just kind of written all over there, and you seem pretty alone with all of it. And you don't have to be. I'd like to help you.
Instead of taking a hard line with Matthew, Agent Cadu employs a calm and sympathetic demeanor. Her strategy seems to work.
It's okay. It's gotta feel better just to let it out. I know it is for me.
I think I'm crazy.
Why do you think that?
Because I must have done something bad. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Well, that can be worked through.
I'm afraid to even know what it was I did.
You're afraid to have me know what you did?
I'm afraid to even know what I did.
No. It can only help you. You can't work through something you don't know.
Matthew decides he'd rather be the one asking the questions.
So did you go to Quantico?
I did.
Was that just training?
Yeah. I was there about 4 months. That's what you have to graduate from to get in. Have you ever been there?
I bet your parents are proud.
They're proud of me. Hope so anyway.
Eventually, their conversation turns back to the crime.
You seem very sincere and genuine.
Oh,
Part of me wishes that I could help you, and a part of me is afraid to just know what happened. I'm afraid that what they're saying is true and that I'm some sort of a monster.
I don't think you're a monster at all.
I can't hurt people. I can't.
How did you come to have Sarah at your house?
I heard her. I found her.
Oh, where'd you find her?
Tied up.
Tied up where?
My basement.
Just when it seems like Agent Cadu is making inroads, Matthew shuts down again. But Agent Cadu doesn't give up. They take a break, and she tries another angle.
How you doing now? I have something for you. If that looks familiar. The handwriting from your mom. If you want it, read it.
Kind of.
Yeah, why don't you do that? I can tell you it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I hear she makes those. Is that a card she made? Does it make a difference to you that your mom's going to be there no matter what?
It's comforting.
Are you concerned that whether it is no matter what, is there still a fear of that? I think in a lot of ways, she's probably already thought the worst, and she's still willing to support you. So I don't think you have to worry about how bad it really is and how she's going to feel about that. I think she's going to respect you as a man so much more, though, if you come straight with it and allow us to bring the people home one way or the other, that we can bring them home. And that's going to mean so much more. We know that they're out there and that they're most likely dead. But still, you can bring closure to the family. We have to have the bodies so the families can have closure and that you can get a better deal with this, which is very important for your family and for your mom, so that you can be there for her. I think it's just weighing heavy on you, and you're afraid that if you tell us, it's going to hurt you in some way with the case, and it's the exact opposite. It's really the exact opposite.
I told you I don't remember. I can't help you.
Despite her best efforts, Matthew won't admit to anything. Detectives decide to call it a day.
Hey, Tom, you call jail and ask them to send somebody up to escort him back. Work out? No? You gotta do a little workout.
48 hours after Sarah Maynard was discovered alive in Matthew Hoffman's basement, police still don't know what he did with her mother Tina, her brother Cody, and their neighbor Stephanie Sprang. After 2 days of indulging Matthew's self-pity and stall tactics, investigators have had enough.
They're telling me that they are pushing, and they're pushing, the prosecutors are pushing to have you come and have a hearing, and this is it. This is your last chance to talk to us, literally. And
Unless there's a lawyer present.
that's what they're pushing for. You're saying,
Lawyers won't let you talk.
yeah, you're saying you're still willing to talk to us without an attorney, but that's what's being done now as far as pushing for that. So this is your last chance right now to talk to us
they'll come in
without
and make
one.
the decisions for you.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, they'll
switch
take
it all
that away.
around.
They make it sound like it's your freedom, but really they won't give you that chance.
Well, it's really not in my best interest to talk without a lawyer. It's your best interest.
Well, if you, again, hopefully we've built some trust to know that we're not lying to you when we tell you that it does help you in the end. You gotta think of your family and you, yourself, and how that's gonna work. They're gonna be the ones that you have to face in the end, and how they're gonna view that. Your mom has been pressing to say, just do the right thing and tell us where they are, and she will be there for you. That's what's going to give her pride, knowing that you were honest, and this is your last chance.
Still, Matthew refuses to divulge any more information. But 2 days later, with the death penalty on the table, he changes his mind. In a written confession, Matthew says he came up with a plan to rob Tina's house. On the night of November 9th, he parked his car at some nearby ball fields and camped out in the woods across from Tina's house. The next morning, on November 10th, he watched and he waited until he was sure Tina and her kids had left for the day. Around 10:30 a.m., he entered the house through the garage. While he searched the home for money and jewelry, he heard Tina's truck pull into the driveway. He ran and hid in one of the bedrooms. When Tina walked in, all hell broke loose. He struck her multiple times in the head with a blackjack. Suddenly, Stephanie Sprang appeared in the house and started yelling at Matthew. In a state of panic, he grabbed a knife and stabbed both women to death. He carried their bodies into the bathroom and began dismembering them, placing their body parts in garbage bags he found inside the home. Before he could finish, Sarah and Cody arrived home. When they saw him, they both ran. Matthew caught Cody first and stabbed him to death. He found Sarah hiding in one of the bedrooms, but he couldn't bring himself to kill her, so he kidnapped her instead. He transported Sarah to his house and left her in his basement. Around midnight, he drove to the store where he purchased garbage bags and the tarps. Then he returned to the crime scene to finish what he'd started. Once he was done dismembering the victims, he loaded their body parts into Stephanie's Jeep and drove to the Kokosing Wildlife Preserve. There, he rigged a pulley and hid the victims' bodies inside a hollow tree trunk. Next, he drove the Jeep back to the crime scene and parked it in the garage. His plan was to take Tina's truck, go get gasoline, come back, and burn the house down. But there was something wrong with Tina's truck, so he abandoned it nearby, got back into his car, and left. That same day, aided by Matthew's written confession and a hand-drawn map, authorities descend upon the Kokosing Wildlife Preserve. Inside a 70-foot-tall, hollowed-out tree, they recover multiple garbage bags. Inside those bags are the bodies of Tina Herman, her son Cody Maynard, and their neighbor, Stephanie Sprang. Afterwards, at a press conference, Knox County Sheriff David Barber issues a statement.
As the sheriff of this county for the past 18 years, I have never experienced a case this big, this serious, and this tragic. And in my entire law enforcement career, I have never experienced something like this.
The following evening, Knox County residents gather together to hold a candlelight vigil in remembrance of the victims. On January 6, 2011, Matthew Hoffman pleads guilty to multiple charges.
It's been indicated to me it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to counts 1 and counts 2 of the indictment, charges of aggravated murder and unclassified felony. Is that a correct statement? It's also been indicated to me it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 3, an additional charge of aggravated murder under a different statute, an unclassified felony. Is that a correct statement? It's also been indicated to me it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 4, a charge of aggravated burglary, a first-degree felony. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
You desire to enter a guilty plea to count 5, charge of kidnapping, a first-degree felony. Correct?
Yes.
And is it your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 6, a charge of rape, a first-degree felony?
Yes.
The judge sentences him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Over a decade later, even though justice has been served, the senseless brutality of this case still haunts Knox County residents and investigators alike. Even though she's a grown woman now, to those who remember this tragic case, Sarah will always be the young girl who survived the unthinkable.